Today we're going to take a look at the Tyranid Codex Previews on the Warhammer community site. Rogue Trader has a brand new trailer out featuring some of the companions you can gain as you play, and we have a new animated feature coming to Warhammer Plus. All this and more in this week's Hobby News. My name is Angela, and welcome to Hobby Night. The first thing that I want to talk about this week is the previews that we got for the upcoming Tyranid Codex, because surprisingly to me, the Tyranid Codex is actually going to be the first one released from Games Workshop. I genuinely thought it would be the Space Marines because I feel like it's almost always the Space Marines if they release them one at a time, and if not, they tend to release them simultaneously. So the fact that the Nids are getting theirs first, very cool. And we even have a preview from Games Workshop on the community site talking about a couple of other detachment rules for the Tyranids, giving us a little bit of a peek of what might be in the book. And I think these are both, the ones that they've previewed to us, are very thematic to the Tyranids. Nothing that we're seeing here, to me, is very surprising or unexpected. Like I said, both of these just feel like, yep, this is exactly what you would expect of the Tyranids. Let's go ahead and talk about them, because I really like the Crusher Stampede detachment rule. However, I think that it might be a little bit more apt to be run in a more narrative campaign or just more casually rather than competitively. Because based on its rules, which you can see here on screen, Tyranid monsters get some benefits when they get wounded, and even get more benefits when they become below half strength. However, in competitive scenes, the real gameplay method seems to be pick a unit and delete it. I've had personal experience with this, fighting Space Marines with my own Tyranid forces, and good lord, are they good at just picking a unit and then deleting it. So realistically, if you're playing against somebody in a competitive scene and they're really good at what they're doing, you may only actually have one monster at a time benefiting from this Enraged Behemoth's rule, which seems a little bit of a shame because you'd really want to hope that more of them would be benefiting from it, and therefore I don't know if it's going to be explicitly really powerful. They also have some bonuses for adding 3 to the bearer's objective control characteristic, which helps them hold objectives more, which is great. So again, if you really want to run big boys, you might look at the Crusher Stampede, especially in narrative stuff. But the Vanguard Onslaught is where I think the competitive players are going to end up, because this really feels like an Alpha Strike just rule and detachment. This is all about getting your units up close. They have the ability to charge in a turn which they fell back. They also, if they have the Vanguard Invader keyword, then they are eligible to charge if they've advanced, which is really beneficial, especially if you want to run a bunch of Von Ryan Leapers or Lictors, which I assume will have the Vanguard Invader keyword. So there's a lot of opportunity there to get into your enemy's face fast, turn them into biomass immediately, and just start deleting units off of the field. And so I really do feel like this is where the competitive scene is going to go, or at least in my current experience with it. Now, the thing that could absolutely change my opinions on this is the fact that we have not seen that much in the way of what you can do in regards to using your command points on stratagems and everything, or other benefits that some of these units may or may not receive. Well, I guess we know all of those, but we don't know what the stratagems are going to be yet. We also don't know what a lot of the secondary objectives are going to be, and all of that kind of information. So once we know more about that, some of these detachments may become even more viable, but until then, I'm really feeling like the Vanguard Onslaught is going to be the more powerful one. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump into the video real quick to remind you to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications so that you never miss any of the hobby content that we make here on the channel. We have a brand new trailer for Pariah Nexus, a Warhammer Plus animated feature that they've been talking about pretty much since the inception of the app, but we've got more information about it now, a brand new trailer, so let's go ahead and watch it. Warhammer 40k.
Are you one of the Emperor's angels?
Okay, I'm immediately loving the focus on civilians. This is really cool.
Hold this holy ground.
The Necrons look amazing.
God Emperor's light.
What drives your futile?
Ooh, I like his voice a lot.
Already lost.
Oh, I like his voice a lot. I think they look amazing.
What happened here?
We lost. Sister!
This is epic. Like, I'm almost speechless. I actually think this looks amazing.
What kind of angel of death are you?
What kind are you indeed? Ooh, a tease. I wonder who it's going to end up being. I wonder if it's somebody that we know. I wonder if it's going to be somebody like from one of the other games, a novel perhaps, coming in autumn of 2023. As I mentioned, this has been talked about for a while for Warhammer Plus. And I really feel like they may have drop the ball on this a little bit, despite the fact that the animation is absolutely stunning. I love the look of all the characters. Like, frankly, I think the voice acting is phenomenal sounding in it. I also do think that this is a little like too late in regards to the story that they're telling, because if they wanted to focus on the Necrons, this probably should have come out in 9th edition. Like, that's my only actual criticism of this, and the fact that it's on Warhammer Plus, which means that you have to get a subscription to Warhammer Plus in order to even watch this series. But it does look like an absolutely phenomenal looking series, and I can't wait to actually find out who our Space Marine friend ends up being. This might be one that, because I do actually still have my Warhammer Plus app, I might end up checking in on the app, seeing what this is all about, because of all of the animated features that we've seen so far, this one looks the coolest. I absolutely love Necrons. Like, don't get me wrong. I know I was complaining, going, hey, this is a little bit, like, outdated. Like, you know, Necrons were what's the word I'm looking for? Not season. I keep wanting to say season, but edition. It was the last edition's big bad, and now we've moved on to Tyranids. But that being said, I do really like the Necrons. I think they're really rad. And honestly, the voice acting for the Necrons is superb in this. So I'm actually pretty hyped. We've got a brand new trailer from Space Marine 2 featuring gameplay, so let's take a look. Now, if you want to see my full reaction to the 14+ minute Space Marine 2 trailer featuring gameplay, you should absolutely go check that out after this video is over. I'll leave a link to it in the video description, as well as at the card at the end of the video. But honestly, just looking at this very brief clip, I love the way that this game looks. I cannot wait to play it with co-op with the Chaos Cultist on the channel. I talked to him with it about last night, and we are going to absolutely be playing it co-op, which is what I was hoping for, but I wasn't 100% sure, because this game looks so fun. Everything looks super visceral. I can't wait to redeem Titus, to absolutely annihilate some Tyranids, and have an absolute blast doing it, because it looks stunning. I'm so hyped for it. So, like I said, if you want to see my full reaction, make sure to check that out at the end of this video. Sticking with some video game trailers, next I want to take a look at the recent release from Owlcat Games. They have a trailer out featuring some of the companions you can get in their upcoming title, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. And as somebody who is a big fan of CRPGs and companions, I'm very interested to see what we're going to be getting. Let's take a look. Warhammer.
As a rogue trader, your endowed authority allows you to recruit crew members from almost any echelon of the
Very true.
Imperium. Let's take
Very
a look
true.
at your options.
What options do I get?
Versarion, the seneschal of your dynasty.
I can't romance my seneschal?
Wise advisor. He has endured many battlefield encounters and is capable of returning blows on the enemies of House von Valancius tenfold.
I mean, he still seems very useful, but I'm a little sad that I can't romance him.
Unsanctioned psyker.
Okay, I can't romance the psyker
Powerful,
either?
albeit unpredictable.
Am I not going to be able to romance anybody in this
Psychic
because it's a Games
powers
Workshop game? That's what I'm actually very worried about.
offensive
But it's
and
really weird that they're
defensive
calling out, like,
capabilities.
their preferences if they aren't going to have that option.
Magos
However,
Explorator.
you also apparently cannot romance
Utility is his name.
our Mechanicus friend.
And debuffs galore.
I mean, that one makes a
But
little
he's
bit more
not
sense to me.
helpless on his
He is
own
Mechanicus.
either.
I don't think he
And
really
powerful
cares.
weaponry is very much his game. Cassia or Celia.
Okay, but she has a
Navigator.
male preference, so you
With her
can romance some of them.
navigator powers, she can
Why can't
provide
you romance the
crucial
first
aid
two?
to your
That
party
seems so weird
and
to me.
unleash the power of her third eye to bring forth utter destruction.
Also, I love that you can actually romance the Navigator. That's
Ordo
fantastic.
Xenos Interrogator.
Okay, so he's also
A sanctioned
romanceable.
psyker
Our
and
Inquisitor.
combat veteran. He prefers to confront his enemies head-on, shielding and empowering himself with the help of his abilities.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jai Hidari, Cold Trader.
I think she's probably going to be a fan favorite just because she can be romanced by both.
Even the weakest
And she looks sassy.
will become a serious threat.
And yes, the romance options are extremely important to me. Why can't I romance a sister? I know why I can't romance a sister. Because it's Games Workshop and they're lame like that. But gosh darn it! Imagine how much more popular this game would be if you could romance the sister of battle. Imagine how much more popular it'd be if you could romance the Space Marine! I want to romance the Space Wolf, damn it! That's all I want! That's all I want. I bet Owlcat wanted to, but Games Workshop was like, no, you cannot. Wait, her romantic preference is unknown?
Combat abilities are second to none.
I wonder if it depends on, like, you have to just get the right, like, attitude with her in order to unlock her being romanceable or not.
There will be a very diverse roster of companions available, offering countless possibilities in both gameplay and the narrative. Start thinking now about the kind of crew you
Don't worry,
assemble.
guys. I am thinking
Will you
about
be
it
a
now.
staunch follower of the Imperial Creed, or risk more dangerous associations?
Oh, I'm going to risk dangerous associations. I'm very excited about this. Now, this is something that I want to talk about because we just saw at the very end here something that I actually did not expect for Rogue Trader. In fact, literally in my last episode talking about Baldur's Gate 3, I talked about how Rogue Trader and Baldur's Gate 3 are dramatically different games. Rogue Trader was meant to be a single player game, but as you can see, on PC, they're adding in a co-op mode, which I am intrigued by because as far as I am aware, Owlcat Games has not made co-op CRPGs in the past. From my understanding, and please do correct me in the comments if I am wrong about this, but the Pathfinder games, I don't think you can play with another player. I think it's just you and the NPCs that you collect along the way, and that's what you get to do. And so the fact that you're actually getting a co-op mode in this game, like, blows my mind. I cannot actually believe that. This is absolutely 100% a response because of the success and just hype that is Baldur's Gate 3. I do not doubt the fact that the co-op mode is specifically in there because they were like, oh, well, the most successful CRPG to ever launch just launched, and it is fully 4-person co-opable, so we should probably add this into our game. Which I hope the devs can manage that. Like, I have confidence in them, but they've never done this before, so I am expecting this to potentially be very buggy because of it. And that does make me nervous because I don't want it to hurt the game because I'm actually really excited about Rogue Trader. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about is the romance options because I genuinely, when I said that this game would be like 100 times more popular if you could romance the sister of battle, I am not kidding. I genuinely think that if you could romance her, or hell, even just play matchmaker between her and another NPC, specifically maybe even the Space Wolf or something like that, that would be amazing to me. I know that is not exactly fully to canon, and the idea with this is that they probably are just too in love with the Emperor and, you know, holding up their holy duty to bother with romance. But I think it's a very big missed opportunity on Games Workshop's part not to embrace that a little bit more. And I absolutely think Sisters would be a way to explore that, especially in a CRPG like Rogue Trader. And I wish that they would. I know that they won't, but that's just my hope for the future of maybe in an update, she'll suddenly become romanceable and then I can live out a fantasy and date a sister of battle. I think that would just be amazing and I want that. What can I say? Last but certainly not least this week, I do want to remind you that this Wednesday, August 30th, starting at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am going to be hosting a watch-along party where we can watch and see all of the reveals from the Nova Open 2023 from Games Workshop. As you can see, there's going to be a lot of different reveals for Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, the Old World, which I think is the one I'm most excited about, Warcry, Underworlds, and then of course Blood Bowl, the other one that I'm very, very excited about. Now, a lot of these I actually kind of expect to end up being timelines as much as them also being miniatures, because with Warhammer, because we're starting to see the Tyranid Codex, we just got that preview and everything that we talked about earlier, I expect we're going to see the timeline of what codexes are coming out in the future, and maybe start to see even some miniatures from some of those other codexes if they're getting some new stuff, because I feel like we're saturated in Space Marines and Tyranids right now. But we can discuss all of that on Wednesday beginning at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, so we can watch along and see what we're getting. And that has been it for this week in hobby news. There's a lot to discuss in the comments below. Specifically, which companions do you wish that you could romance in Rogue Trader? And what do you think of the new Tyranid previews that we're getting for the Codex? I'm very excited for both, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Nova Open 2023 live stream, where we will watch along and see all the cool reveals. I hope to see you there. And before I head out, I just want to give one final thank you to my patrons for making it so content like this can continue to happen. Without your guys' support, we just would not be doing this, so thank you very, very much. I have been Angela, and I hope you have a wonderful hobby night.